girls, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, I'm so happy you're here, but we gotta talk. Like, there are so many freaking healthy habits that are being like shoved down our throats all the time. Things that are supposed to help us get in better shape, lose weight, look better. And it's really hard and super freaking confusing to try to figure out what things are actually healthy and what's actually going to help us. When I was going through my 45-pound weight loss journey, I talked to doctors, I read all the magazines, and I tried everything. But I realized there was probably like 6 things I was doing that weren't just slowing down my progress. They were actually making me gain weight, and I guarantee you're at least doing one of these. I know all 6 of these are gonna shock you because they seem innocent, but they're not. And number 4 was the hardest for me to change because I really thought it was something that was good for me. Like, truly believed it was good for me. And it wasn't. It was the worst. And this is one, like, I would be willing to bet you are doing number 4 and maybe a couple other ones too. But no matter how many you're doing, the good news is at the end of the video, I'm going to give you 3 easy steps to help you get rid of these habits so you can actually lose weight and live a healthy lifestyle. So if you've been struggling to navigate all of the healthy habits out there, I literally made this video for you. Sweat the thumbs up. That just means give it a little click. It's the easiest thing you can do. And if you haven't already, it would mean so much to me if you subscribe to my channel. I have new videos every week sharing my health and fitness journey to help you with yours. Oh, and before I forget, we're about to start my free 2-week abs and booty challenge. It's just like a mini challenge for fall. You get all of that as part of my newsletter. So if you haven't already joined, I'll pin a comment with the link to join down below. All right, so I put a question box up on Instagram asking you for things that you thought were like healthy, but weren't totally sure about. And I was honestly blown away. There were so many, and even things I hadn't thought about in like years, but I had to narrow it down to these 6 that I personally really had dealt with. So I want to give a shout out to the girls who actually dropped these questions in. So number 1 came from Andy, number 2, Teresa, number 3, Chrysalyn, number 4, Allison, 5, Jennifer, and 6, Julia. Thank you, girls. So this is going to answer your questions right here. This is one that, like, if you're not doing it right now, you probably have. Like, it is kind of a go-to for anyone who is trying to lose weight. I think this is one of the first things we think that we should or need to do. And I did it all the time. Like, there was this period of time where I would not let myself snack at all unless it was a sad snack. You know what a sad snack is? Like, I'm talking like celery sticks, carrots by themselves, like nothing else, right? I think the first thing we always think is that like snacking needs to stop. If you're trying to lose weight or you're trying to be healthier, stop snacking as much because then you're overeating. And it's just not the case. Like, I remember a time when I was in college, I worked at SeaWorld, and that's a story for another time. But we used to have to stand at these exhibits and talk for hours. And you get hungry, obviously, but I was in my deep restrictive dieting phase, so I was not letting myself have anything except like sad snacks. And I remember standing there and being so hungry that I got someone to come and cover me so I could go to the bathroom. But what I actually did was went to a concession stand, got a hot dog, went into the bathroom stall, and ate that thing in like less than 2 minutes. I felt so sick. And that was a turning point for me. So of course, if you're eating too much in excess in the day in total, you're gonna gain weight, but snacks alone aren't gonna do that. If you're depriving yourself, you'll probably end up overeating, and that's what I was doing. So I found the healthiest thing for me is in fact snacking regularly, eating normal snacks throughout the day to help balance my blood sugar, balance my hormones, and keep me full and satisfied consistently throughout the day so I wasn't having those high and low peaks. I know it can be hard to figure out what snacks to have. So for me, I try to keep my snacks kind of to a hand portion or slightly smaller, like more like the palm of my hand throughout the day. And I like to go for like nutritionally dense things. So I like to have a fat, a carb, and a protein all together in my snack. That's gonna give you the most like fullness and make you really be able to balance out your hormones and everything so you feel really good. So things like tuna and crackers, some nuts and protein, some veggies and hummus. I even do like small sandwiches, apple nut butter protein, right? Those things are gonna be like the best snacks you can grab and go, and you'll feel your best. Number 2, there was a time where I truly believed if I wanted to lose weight and be healthy, I just needed to eat gluten-free. Now, this was nothing to do with my thyroid. At the time, I didn't even realize there was a connection to my thyroid. I just thought that was the trendy, healthy thing to do. That's how you lose weight, is you go gluten-free. So then I stopped eating gluten foods, basically cut out all my carbs and started eating like crazy high fats. Like there was a 3-week period in high school where I was doing Atkins diet, and I would literally eat like bacon and eggs and cheese. I'd put heavy whipping cream in my coffee, like a lot of it. It was nuts. Like there was nothing healthy about that. Those things in moderation, fine. But eating loads of them every day just because I wasn't eating gluten was not a healthy way to lose weight. And I actually was gaining weight. And I was like, what is going on? This is the miracle diet. Why isn't it working? Well, because I wasn't smart about it and I wasn't doing it in a way that was actually sustainable or healthy. The other problem is when I stopped doing that and I just was focused on gluten, not just like the carbs themselves, really focused on gluten, instead of like cutting out processed foods that happen to have gluten, I started swapping everything for gluten-free alternatives. The problem with a lot of those is they're usually really highly processed, have a lot of added sugars and tons of ingredients in order to make them gluten-free. So they're not necessarily more healthy. Like just swapping my chips for gluten-free chips or my crackers for gluten-free crackers or bread, whatever, wasn't necessarily making me have a healthier overall diet. And yes, I have hypothyroidism, and yes, I feel better when I don't have gluten. So if you have an intolerance or an allergy or anything, of course, don't have gluten. But it's better to focus on eating full, whole foods than to just make swaps for those gluten-free things, because it's not necessarily going to help you reach your goals. Number 3 was also really hard for me because I am a water chugger. So this is like the idea that you need to drink a gallon of water a day. First of all, one size fits all is just not a thing, you guys. A gallon of water isn't necessarily good for everyone, and you have to be really smart about it. So I was like, I'm in like a chugger. So then I'm like on a challenge. I'm like, I can drink more than a gallon of water. Chug all this water, and not feeling well. And I started feeling really sick. And I'm like, how am I feeling sick? I'm eating healthy. Like this is once I figured out how to actually eat healthy, and I was like balancing all my food. But then I was drinking all of this water and I was still feeling run down. Well, the problem is drinking a gallon of water isn't necessarily healthy if you're not prepared, because what can happen is it flushes everything out of your body, which is why I always talk about if you're bloated, like you should drink more water because it'll flush out any excess water retention you have. But it also is flushing out electrolytes and things that you need, that like you want your like muscle and tissue and the fascia to actually be able to be hydrated and absorb the water versus it just like flowing through your body and like exiting your body. Okay, so I typically, as like a blanket recommendation, always say, especially if you're working out and active, trying to get about 2 to 3 liters of water a day. That's gonna be like a safer place. Like unless you are like a pro athlete who is sweating buckets all day long, like you don't need a gallon of water necessarily. But 2 to 3 liters is a good like starting, like good balanced place. But what I like to do is put a scoop of like dehydrated coconut into my water to help me be able to actually get those electrolytes and allow the water and everything to be absorbed into the tissue, which is where we want it. So don't just believe the hype that a gallon of water is what you need to drink. It's not. So number 4, and you guys are 6. This isn't even the last one, but like this is one that was so just like, ugh, like it was just hard for me to like fully get it because I'd done it my whole life. I always thought this was like so motivating for me, like, but it wasn't. I realized it just had me focused on the wrong things and was really actually hindering any progress I had because I'd just spiral out of control and get so upset when it wasn't working the way I wanted. And that is having a someday outfit or outfits, or for me, it was a pair of jeans. So I had bought this pair of Citizen for Humanity jeans that were like super trendy at the time in college. Like I'd saved and saved for these jeans. I think I even bought them on eBay actually, because they were like on sale, whatever. But like I saved up for these really expensive jeans and I got them, and they must have been on eBay because it was like there was only one size, and I was like, those are gonna fit someday, maybe soon. And I bought them and they definitely did not fit at the time. I could not get my belly or my butt or anything barely into them. But I was like, no, one day I'm doing all these diets. Like these are gonna fit me. These are my goal jeans. I'm gonna focus on those jeans. I'm gonna work my butt off so I can get that in those jeans and be so cute and feel so good. It was such a dumb idea. And I know, like, I'm not, like, I've been there, I get it. And I know it's so normal. And this is what I'm saying. Like, probably all of you have done this or maybe currently do it, and maybe have something in your closet right now. The problem with having like a someday outfit is that it really made me focus on the wrong things. I wasn't focused on how I was feeling or how I was actually changing my habits to be healthier. I wanted to be in those jeans so bad. I was like, I'll do whatever it takes. I just need to get skinny. I just need to get skinny to get in those jeans. That's not lasting. It also is really, really detrimental. And I feel like it slowed down my progress so much, and maybe even did make me gain weight because I'd get so mad that I'd end up like going off the deep end and binging and be like, screw these jeans. And just like, ah. Being in a certain size jean does not matter at all. Who freaking cares what size your jeans are? You want to feel good in them. And if you spend that money and just sitting there, it's gonna, like for me, it just stressed me out. It's gonna stress you out. You're gonna constantly be like, oh my gosh, like I'm not good enough. I'm not doing well enough. I'm not working hard enough because I can't fit in these stupid jeans. Well, maybe your body's not meant to fit in those jeans. Maybe it's gonna fit in something else. That was the same to me as kind of like having like a model's picture on the wall to try to look at. That didn't work for me. That's why I had to take those photos or have my mom take them of myself, because I wanted to see myself in a place I never wanted to be again. That's how it motivated me to work harder. Not like some aspirational thing that I don't know if was actually attainable for me or not, right? I don't know what my body is gonna do. So if you have something in your closet right now, or if you've ever had that like someday outfit, I want you to comment a little pair of jean emoji down below. And I want us to talk about this in the comments because I think it's such an important conversation. So many of us just dwell on these things that we like hope are going to work out at some point. And it's not that you're not going to lose weight. And it's not that you might not fit in those jeans or go smaller, but why limit yourself to this one thing? It's just going to put a box around your goals and your potentials. And it's going to end up like crushing you in the moment and not really being the right type of inspiration. So if you have it, do that comment down below. Let's chat about it. And also like, I challenge you to donate it. Like, whatever it is, after you watch the rest of this video, go throw it in your donation bag. Number 5, I got on a really big healthy dessert kick for a while. And I would go and get frozen yogurt. I'm not joking and I'm not exaggerating, every single night. Every single night, because frozen yogurt was supposed to be so healthy. And whether it's frozen yogurt or another like dessert swap, I think what I realized was I actually was just creating a super bad habit because I convinced myself that it was healthy. And then instead of having just ice cream or frozen yogurt or whatever once in a while, I started having this large portion of a dessert every single day because I was like, it's healthy, it's just part of my routine. And I ended up gaining a lot of weight because one, frozen yogurt specifically has so much sugar in it, like so much sugar. Dessert swapping at the time to me just meant like, okay, frozen yogurt's better for me than ice cream. I'm gonna swap that, but now I'm getting in a bad habit of eating it every night. Or these sugar-free candies are better than like regular. So they're sugar-free, they're healthy, I can eat them all day, every day, right? It actually just creates like a craving and a habit and like an addiction to that thing versus just being able to enjoy something occasionally when you want it. So if that's something you're doing right now where you're like, oh, well, this is better for me and I need to get my chocolate fix every day, really evaluate that. Maybe try my 7-day sugar detox because that will really help you kind of get out of that habit and kick the sugar, because at the end of the day, the sugar, whether it's an ice cream or frozen yogurt or whatever chocolate, or if it's a sugar-free chocolate that has an artificial sweetener, you're still creating that trigger in your brain and it just becomes an addiction. And that's what it was for me. I was literally like addicted to that like hit of sugary sweetness. So that one's got to go. And number 6, Julia was not alone in this. There were so many girls asking about this one. And it's something I fell into the trap of too, was if it's healthy to just do cardio. Doing cardio every day, will that help you lose weight, or do you need to do other things? And kind of on the opposite, feeling like scared of adding weights and resistance into your workouts. So when I was in college, when I was at my heaviest, I've talked about this, like the one thing like I started doing was running a lot, because I'm like, I can run. I didn't have like gym membership or anything else. I'm like, I can run. But what I realized was, yes, of course that's healthy. Doing cardio is healthy. So like whether it's because it's just the thing you like to do or it's the only thing you can do, walking, running, those things are great. Movement is important no matter what it looks like. But if you are trying to lose weight, if you're trying to change your body composition, meaning like you want to change the shape of your body and actually see more definition, then you need to have a mix of both. When I was mostly just doing cardio, I lost a decent amount of my weight, but I would have lost it faster if I added weights into my workouts. And here's why. When you add strength and resistance, like I do, I mean, if you do the Move app, you know I do both. We have cardio and we have strength. If you add weights and resistance into your training, not only is it going to change the shape of your body, but that alone, especially if you're eating protein and stuff, is going to allow you to be able to burn more calories naturally up to 72 hours after that workout. So your body's just going to be working more like a machine. It takes like crazy amount of effort to actually bulk up. So if you're worried about getting bulky, no, when you change your routine up, the first couple of weeks, you might retain a little excess water. You might feel a little bulky. It's kind of like a little swollen. That's totally normal. But you're not actually going to bulk up unless you are going like crazy bodybuilder, excess calories and like insane heavy weights. So just trust the process. But yeah, no, you don't want to just do cardio. If you're able to do weight training, do a little bit of that resistance like you'll find in the Move app, you're going to get better results. You'll get those results a lot faster, and you're really going to have a full total body composition change that you're going to be much happier with. So definitely get some cardio in, but mix in the weight training just like we do in the Move app, at least 2 or 3 times a week to really see the best result. All right, so I told you I'm gonna give you a quick 3-step method just to get rid of any of these bad habits or other habits that you might have that just aren't healthy and aren't really serving you and helping you get to your goals faster. It's super simple, but before I do, I want you to comment down below. Tell me how many of these things you would ditch if it meant getting to your goals faster, because that's what you need to ask yourself honestly before you even get into these 3 steps. Be honest with yourself. How much are you willing to put in the work? How much are you willing to change if it really means creating real change that's going to get you to those goals? So 3 steps, super, super simple. The first is look at this list of 6 and just identify which ones you actually need help with. Which ones do you actually need to stop? How many are you struggling with? And if there's ones that I didn't list here that you just know, write those down too. Second step I want you to take is just to choose one of these things right now. There might be a lot you want to change, but just choose one thing that you can actually start changing right now. Like, you don't need to buy anything. You don't need to think about it. Like, it is easy for you. You're like, yeah, I could totally do that right this second. Maybe it's donating that pair of jeans or the dress or whatever it is, right? Choose that one thing. And then the last step is I want you to just make a little checklist somewhere. Challenge yourself to do it for 1 week, every single day, and schedule exactly when you're gonna do the thing and what exactly you're gonna do for an entire week. And at the bottom of the page, write a little reward that you're gonna give yourself if you do it. Now, I don't want you to write a reward like I'm gonna treat myself to dessert if I do this, right? That's maybe counterintuitive to your goals. Maybe it's take a bubble bath, paint your nails, go get a manicure, whatever. And check that list. And if you get all 7 days, next Sunday, I want you to come back here, comment down below, and let me know how you did. All right, girls, I hope you found that helpful. I know there are just so many crazy habits out there and healthy things that we're told are supposed to help us that it's just so confusing. So if there are more that you have questions about, drop them in the comments. I'll be in here answering as many as I can. And also, like, if you like this video, again, sweat the thumbs up. I'll make more and share more answering all of the ones that you drop down in the comments below. I love you all so much. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter so you can join that free 2-week challenge. I love you all so much. Don't forget, good things come to those who sweat. So I'll see you next time. Bye.